The New York Druid, an Irish-American fantasy, Book 3, written by Thomas Kennedy, narrated by Bernadette Homerski. Chapter 1. The accountant's accountant, Sophie remarked, and her friend and colleague Martina looked up and smiled a little smile. They watched him cross the lobby. Young and Bang chartered accountants had a large office in New York City. Their discreet 40-floor U.S. headquarters building, framed in glass and steel, stood as a cathedral to modern commerce, with a large lobby illuminated by large stained-glass windows, plus numerous strip lights and a grand central chandelier in cut glass. His polished brown leather shoes made little noise as he stayed off the marble and followed the plush carpet leading to the reception desk. "Morning, ladies," he said, and took off his bowler hat as he spoke. "Morning, sir," Sophie and Martina said in unison, with smiling faces and professional receptionist manners. Getting a touch of the giggles, Martina picked up her phone and covered her smile. Sophie blinked her eyelashes as she uncrossed her legs. "How may we help you, sir?" she asked in her deep voice, pausing before the "sir" to lick her red lips and meet his eyes. He stared momentarily, and she leaned towards him so her bosoms became more visible. As usual, his eyes widened and he looked ready to bolt. Sophie gave him her smile and looked deep into his eyes, which were hazel green behind brown rounded eyeglasses. He stammered. "I have a new client at 9. Could you or Martina show him up, please?" "Sorry," Sophie said, and as his face showed dismay, she smiled and added, "The bellboy will do. You see, Martina and I are not allowed to leave the reception area, except for—" What, he wondered, as she paused and plucked at a thread on her blouse. "Natural breaks." Oh, okay. He put his bowler hat back on and retreated. "You zapped him again," Martina remonstrated as they watched him walk to the elevators. "I can't resist. He always blushes. You're naughty." "But nice," Sophie replied. The phones were ringing, and there were numerous visitors. It was just after 8 in the morning, and they were very busy. Just before 9 there was a tapping noise. The golden handle of a blackthorn walking stick was tapping on the counter of the reception desk. Martina and Sophie looked at each other. There was no one to be seen. Sophie stood and leaned over. "Whoa, boobs!" the small ugly man said. "I beg your pardon," Sophie protested, looking down her nose at the small man on the other side of the counter. "You're a fine figure of a woman, madam," the little man said warmly and with confidence. He spoke in a thick country Irish accent, but Sophie, a daughter of the Bronx and never good with foreign accents, wondered whether he was Russian. "Here from the Old Sod for a meeting with Connor," the little man explained. The Old Sod? Who is he?" "Ireland girl, the Emerald Isle, sometimes called by those familiar the Old Sod." "Connor?" "The accountant. I'm here to talk about me gold mines." "What? 9 o'clock appointment. Can I go up there?" "No." "No." "Security. The bellboy will bring you up." "Oh, right so." "Please sign the book." "I don't write." "I suppose an X will do." "I don't write." "I'll put an X for you then." "Thanks." "Jesus, a midget," Martina remarked as they watched him follow the bellboy towards the elevator. "He put the heart across me," Sophie admitted. "He said you have boobs." "Well, of course I have boobs, Martina. Fine figure of a woman, that's what he said." "Sophie, don't tell me you'd fancy a midget," Martina remarked with a wrinkle of her nose. "He had a lively face, and he did mention gold mines," Sophie teased with a smile. "Oh, please," Martina replied, and began to deal with the next arrival. "Leprechaun," Martina said 10 minutes later when they had a pause. "What?" Sophie asked. "The midget. With the gold-tipped walking stick?" "Yes, the one you fancied." "No, I didn't." "Yes." "No." "Anyway, he was dressed like a leprechaun." "An Irish leprechaun?" "Is there any other sort?" "Well, this is New York." "Strange, I'd say," Martina remarked. "No, not in New York." "You don't see many midgets dressed as leprechauns," Martina argued. "So? That's nothing in New York," Sophie countered. "Probably he likes to be noticed."
Sample complete. Ready to continue?